There's something about the strange, weird, interesting quality with these missing episodes, and with the kind of archaic factor of these older Who episodes, particularly of the Hartnell era. In a sense, it is like there is a sense that you're viewing these, given that these shows were produced to be probably viewed once and then never again. There's a certain sense that the appeal of these shows to the audience was in the 1960s, in a time when there was no concept of reruns at this time. You know, remember that Back to the Future joke, for example, and that was the mid-50s, mind you, but earlier than the mid-60s, obviously. But what we had with these broadcasts is they left imprints in the viewers' minds, and then they would expand upon these memories in playground adventures or comic book strips in the Doctor Who magazine. There was this interesting environment of kind of this blank canvas of fun and adventure, of games to be had with the classic Doctor Who formula, I think. And I think watching it now, it is kind of it does remind one of absolutely reminds one of a simpler time. If this is what it took to captivate a generation of young people, then I think that's clear proof that the times were simpler and less went into the bells and whistles of a production, for better or worse. I'm not saying this is necessarily better or worse. I don't think the 60s was the best time of Doctor Who. It's probably the 70s, but we're going into it. Let's clear that for a moment. What is interesting is I guess you could say an uncanny factor about viewing a show which has clearly kind of unreal and seems everywhere, and yet it almost is it's almost a demonstration of kind of into two clashing dimensions kind of at war with one another. These prop things which don't look real and organic whatsoever within the context of our perception and understanding, at war with real life characters, the Doctor and his companions, up against these bizarre monsters which look like fake costumes and cardboard to us, although there is a certain, I guess, part of the subconscious brain can interpret it as these weird manifestations from another plane of existence attempting to invade our own. It's a fascinating prospect. It's unusual. One has to, I think, enjoy this sort of factor in order to really feel the appeal of the classic Doctor Who. I think, especially in the black and white era, I think it's easy to be more involved with the world building and the script writing within the Pertwee and the Baker era. The script writing the production values were actually pretty less favourable in the 80s, and so it's the script writing, unfortunately, for the most part. What you have in the classic era, especially given so much of it is lost, it does feel like you're witnessing these, as I said, vanished broadcasts at a time when there was no guarantee that one would see these things again. There were demonstrations. It's almost demonstrations, recordings of expressionistic theatre that we ought to feel, well, actually very blessed to have any of them again, given how eager they were, how callous they were about junking these things. A Dalek is a truly alien, unusual, unintuitive design within the context of our understanding of life. It was, especially, just given the bizarre behind-the-scenes circumstances, they created something that was so alien and unusual. And so we witnessed the Doctor and his companions battling these things. It's a inherently bizarre and uncanny, otherworldly kind of experience, I think. And just given the kind of static and potentially rigid nature of some of these cheaper productions, they come across as weird and dreamlike in a way of that more seamless productions might not. That's the unusual novelty about classic Doctor Who at times, and what's most important ultimately, however, is an engaging protagonist, likable companions, and desire to see them outwit the enemy and save the universe. This, even at the most schlocky of times, can remain a fervent source of interest when engaging with these episodes, which is, it's just, at the end of the day, phenomenally impressive in spite of everything.